You're listening to Laugh to Keep from Crying with C. Janae After Dark. It's not about being seen, it's about being heard. I'm not here to hurt, I'm here to heal, one truth at a time. This isn't just a story, it's my truth, told with just enough fiction to protect what little piece I have left. But every emotion, that's real. So yeah, let's talk about it. In case you're wondering why I start my story at 12, well, before that, most memories are sort of a blur. I remember simple birthdays and holidays at grandmom's, moving around to live in a few different houses, elementary school, and time with family. 12, well, this was the point in my life where I feel like it takes a turn. Now, don't get me wrong, before 12, there was pain. The most notable is me losing my sister at 1 year old to leukemia. I also feel like this is when I started having a hard time making and keeping friends. And that story goes all the way up into my current life. My life has been a roller coaster. So if you want to come along for the ride, keep listening. They say your childhood shapes you, but what happens when you don't get to finish it? I was in middle school, living on a block that was just okay. The kind of place where the houses looked nicer than what was happening inside them. My mom had a good job. My stepdad, he kept the house looking decent. On paper, we looked okay. But behind the front door, I was carrying too much for a kid. But the thing was, I wasn't just a kid, or at least it didn't feel like it. Most days, I walked in from school to a quiet house or my sister and brother bickering with each other. My stepdad, he gave out orders like they were candy. Do your homework. Wash the dishes. Watch the kids. That was the routine before I could even take my shoes off from school. Meanwhile, my stepdad, he was either running around the corner to play the lottery, watching old kung fu movies, or tossing peanuts in his mouth. My mom, she worked late, long hours. When she came home, there wasn't much left of her to talk to. There wasn't much laughter in that house, at least not anymore. There were times when we felt like a real family, but those feelings faded quickly the minute the yelling, screaming, and arguing started. Outside the house, I tried to find a connection, something normal. But it wasn't just the mess inside that shaped me. The block had its own way of breaking you down. There was the boy up the street, unattractive, mean. He liked me, but when I didn't like him back, he started rumors. Told people I did things with him that I never did, and they believed him. They laughed, joked. I hated it. Then across the street, the brother and sister duo, bullies. I snuck them in the house once, and they made me throw snacks out of my own window like some kind of joke. I got in trouble for that. They were always doing something shady. Then there were two brothers who lived up the street. I liked the older one, but he didn't seem to like me back. He acted like one of those middle school players, charming to everyone, but real with no one. Next door, there was another boy, African, I think. His family, they did things differently over there. Their house was strict, serious. My stepdad used to yell and say I was being fresh with him, but I never did anything. Not with him, not with anyone on that block. I don't even think I kissed anybody around there. And if I did, I don't remember. That should tell you how important it wasn't. And for the girls, well, one lived up the street. Nobody was really friends with her like that. She was on a heavier side, so everybody kind of talked about her. But I still wanted to be her friend. But every time I would come to her house in the morning, she'd be sitting there eating breakfast and never once offered me a plate. But anyway, I still waited for her to get on the bus because I just needed a friend. The other girl, she was beautiful, light skinned, hair looked like it came from a commercial. I felt like we were close, or I wanted us to be, but deep down, I don't know how much she wanted to be my friend. Eventually, we just stopped talking. The block was no softer than the house. It was just a different kind of hard. Well, there was one boy. I think he was Puerto Rican or Asian. I can't even remember. Either way, he was the sweetest. Kind eyes, quiet. I liked him. I think he liked me too, but people bullied him, talked about him, judged him for no reason. I listened. I let their opinions shape my decisions. Truth is, I probably would have been better off if I had dated him, even at 12. But the one boy I did get into a relationship with, I met him through a party line when I was staying over at my cousin's house on my dad's side one night. Over there, that was a whole different world. Anyway, he was 15, I was 12, and yes, my mom knew. I told her, which surprised even me because we never really talked like that. But she was okay with it, or at least I think she was. He had a big family, a bunch of siblings. I used to hang out over there. His house seemed happy, definitely more fun than mine. But looking back, he was growing up faster than I was ready for. I was getting older, but as I got older, he got older too. And he wanted things I wasn't ready to give. I wasn't built for all that yet. He tried once, but I wasn't comfortable and wanted him to stop. He got so angry we didn't do anything. I think that's when he finally lost interest. He seen me as the nice, innocent girl with the nice family that just wasn't ready to give it up. But I didn't want to do things I wasn't ready for. I started feeling the pressure. Then he wanted me to try black and miles and weed. I mean, I tried it. I just wanted to stay close to him. I thought I was in love, but love wouldn't have made me feel that small. Eventually, he cheated on me. I was heartbroken, but even more than that, I felt used. It didn't end right then, but that was just the beginning of the end. Time passed and things changed. I changed. It was around that same time things at home hit the boiling point. I came home one day and my stepdad started barking orders like usual. Dishes, homework, kids. I must have talked back or just hesitated. He snapped, yelling, looming over me, spit flying from his mouth. I said, "You're spitting on me." And that just made it worse. He took off his belt, boom, and hit me hard. I flinched, moved back. The belt missed and slammed into the door instead. Left marks. My siblings, they were screaming. I couldn't take it anymore. I ran upstairs, heart pounding, threw clothes into a bag with no plan, just survival mode. My little sister cried, begged me not to go. But I knew I couldn't stay. No money, no ride, just my feet. I walked for hours under those flickering street lights. Eventually, I made it to my aunt's house. My mom was there, so was my grandma, my uncles, aunts, all of them. No one really asked what happened. They just looked at me like I was the problem, like I made everything harder. That night, I stayed at my aunt's. That's where my next chapter began. Some of you might wonder, well, why didn't you just go stay at your dad's? But that's another story for another episode. Honestly, me and my mom never fully recovered after that. Even before that, things were rough. I had broken her trust in ways I hate to admit. See, I used to steal from her. She'd leave her purse around, money just sitting in there. And instead of asking, I take $20 here, $20 there, sometimes every few days. Not to go shopping, but to buy friends. Snacks, little things. Stuff to make people like me. And even then, I could tell they were just using me. But it was the only way I felt seen. 12. That wasn't just a number. It was my breaking point. That was my life at 12 years old. So no, this story didn't start with healing. It started with surviving. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening to C. Janae After Dark. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next episode.